that's Trixie.
Yep.
And that must have been Dad that was walked away.
Mm-hmm. He loved that horse.
I
Yeah,
guess
he
I
did.
didn't
He
realize,
lived on that horse.
I didn't realize he was that young.
Yeah, and it was Wade Schofield's horse. Look at
Yeah.
Dad.
Oh. Yeah.
That is
That's the old
yeah.
oil shed, wasn't it? Where was it over? Is this across from?
Was the old pole barn to the right? I mean, to the right of that.
Yeah, in the garage there. We'll see here.
Boy, he knows.
That's
the
where
cameras
that
on
was that
him.
big long building. Oh, that we played Annie I
That's
over
the
all
old
the
chicken
time.
coops.
Yeah,
Where was the chicken coop sitting?
right next to the
Oh,
tack.
there's the long barn back
The
there.
chicken
right?
coop
Okay.
was over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's the
Big
tack. There's the
building.
tack shed.
Yeah.
Mom,
And they're
all
both
wood
gone
crows.
now. The tack shed and the
Yeah.
chicken coop are both gone now.
Yeah.
It's a very pretty horse. The pony.
And it was a good pony, from
It
what I
was.
understood.
It was.
We had a
it
pony
was
too. It was
look at him.
phenomenal.
Oh.
He figured out a strategy. That's cute.
How old do you think he was in this?
He wasn't school age. I
5
don't
or
think.
6, looks like maybe.
Maybe even
Maybe
younger.
a little younger.
Come on.
Maybe like 4.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Look at the cottonwood trees.
mm-hmm.
So those were the trees that are in the yard now?
Mm-hmm.
Mom tried to
So
grow
that's
one
the
in the
old-
middle of the
Old
yard.
shop, yeah.
Oh, that's where the pole barn sits now.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that shed was hooked onto that.
The bunkhouse that you were talking
No, the bunkhouse was
Is
to
that
the
Lana?
shop.
I think that's me.
about? Yep. Yep.
Yeah, there's
There's
you.
Lana.
Who was taking this?
That's a very good question.
Oh God, I don't. Was one of those Kenny? No,
Those are you.
no, I don't know who they are.
I think
Was that
the
Rick
man-
Getzky?
Oh, that could be. Yeah, I never thought about
The one on the
Getzky's.
left looked like Rick Getzky, but
Rick and his dad,
was
Gary.
that Gary?
Positively.
Yeah, I always got to be the one doing the chicken chores.
I like how you're like running away
Okay,
too.
there. I bet it is.
Because
I
that
like how
isn't
they
that
do
their
all that shit.
bus?
I bet that
Because
is.
look at Rick. You recognize Rick.
Yeah, because he's the same age as I am. He was in my
That
class.
doesn't look like Gary to me, but it could be.
So where would this be?
So is Rick Agetsky? No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Getzky.
yeah,
So you're thinking it might be Rick and Gary Getzky. Gary's the one that was around
yeah,
not too long ago that where we got the Getzky pickup.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. It was his pickup.
Oh,
I always thought that was like the brand name
Me
of
too.
it.
So Luke wanted to draw a picture of it when he was in high school, and so he's like, "Mom, how do you spell Getzky?" And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I can't find it anywhere. I'm googling it, looking for a
Well,
picture
see-
of the Getzky pickup."
see-
I'm like, "That's not a
see,
brand name. It's a person."
Lydia Hannabuth would have been his aunt,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why they.
Did you
ga-
ever remember Emil Getzky?
I know the name, but
Yeah, it's
yeah,
his
that was
son.
Lydia's brother, Hannabuth.
so they didn't live here. They just came to visit.
Well, they came and lived here for a while, and they lived in that house.
Kelton's house.
The
Kelton's-
Hannibals- the- okay, that's
Kelton's
the
house.
Hannibals that stayed there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had
Former
chinchillas
like that.
downstairs. They raised chinchillas for the fur.
Wow.
They weren't here very long, and Oki is Gary's wife and Rick's mother. Her name's Oki. And they went back to Washington. They came from Washington.
Okay.
Was there an older brother? Because there was Vanessa.
Yeah, no, there was younger brother, Scott. There was
Oh, that's
Rick,
right.
Vanessa, and Scott.
So we know this is Rick, but we don't think that's Gary.
I don't know. It doesn't.
I don't know. Mike might remember.
But it seems to me I remember that they had a VW van like that. But
Mike
I
might.
don't know where it's at. It could be. It's not over on the Hannabuth
Yeah,
place
you don't know
anywhere.
what is that building in the
I
back?
don't
building
know.
with a melding
Don't-
place.
I'm guessing it's a.
It
I'm
could
guessing it's a
be.
granary, but
Mike might know.
Yeah.
but these hills is what's throwing me off.
Yeah.
'Cause
And I could see them doing that.
I wonder if that's on the north side of the river.
because they were just that way. They, to play up things.
Yeah.
I guess does the old Moby place go on the other side of the river as well? That might be where that's at. That looks about right to me. Do you have any idea who took these videos? Just some that Grandma had?
Yep, they just had them in a drawer.
Because, there's some other people in here that I have no idea who they are.
Well, let's see if somebody else recognizes them. Show it to enough people. Oh my goodness, a dog with socks on? Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a person? No,
It's a dog.
See, I don't know who they are.
It's so dark.
It's very dark.
Yeah.
After I edit it, I can try and lighten it up. But
Just because of the darkness, you would think they might be Ketchums, but.
But they never had a dog. I don't remember Ketchums ever.
Is that
having
all
a
there
dog.
was of that? Oh no.
of the dog, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where the heck is this?
Yeah, this is some of the footage that I have no idea. And then after this, there's a bit of them driving to Glasgow, I think.
Might have to
And then
take this
there's
down to Grandpa.
Then there's a
Because you never know. Catch him on the right day.
there's a little bit of them just on Main Street in town. Then some more Dad on Trixie.
Who's
So I think it
even the
might
driver? That profile driver doesn't even look familiar. The profile of that driver to me.
Must have thought, oh, it's raining. We got it.
be. I think it's actually snowing.
And maybe it's snowing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
But
see
look
how
at
it-
how
down the
wide
edges
that
of the
road is. I mean, we didn't increase the width of Highway 2 out here
Well, it was 64.
was it?
65 when they put the highway through town.
Okay.
That's
new highway.
Glasgow, right?
I don't know.
Looked like it.
I wonder if this isn't Gary Getsky didn't do.
Yeah, because I don't.
Because Mom and Dad never had a camera.
So maybe
And
he just was here. The fact that there was.
Yeah, and I bet that they're the ones that took this.
I bet so too.
And then they were there at
So a lot
Mom
of
and
this-
Dad's a lot.
Ooh,
And
is that?
think
That's the
Buggy
river
Creek?
going to. Oh, I thought it was a
Oh,
river going to Billings, but maybe
maybe.
not. It looked like.
See, that looks more like what the road used to look like.
Glasgow District.
Well, that's cool.
And I'm not sure all these are in the right order. I think some might be out of order. But I think this is Glasgow. I think
Yeah, it
that's
looks like
I think
it.
that's the elevator right there by the railroad crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
Oh, I know where that's at.
Is that Emil right there? Who's next to Dada?
Well, it'd be either Walt or Dad. I mean, Kenny. They're the ones that usually.
Yeah, but it looked like an older guy humped over. So.
This is neat. Oh.
It almost looks like it's fast.
Oh,
It
there's
is
now
fast.
he's moving. Well, I was gonna say maybe past just walking now.
Can you fix that when you edit it? Can you slow
Oh,
that
there's
down?
the school.
So that's like 68, 67, somewhere in there.
So I've been trying to convince people to park like that again. I don't know why.
Oh,
we
the old
stopped
M&M
parking.
Cafe.
And it's still dirt with the flagpole. You can see
Oh,
right
yeah, up
there.
in the middle.
These are nice pictures of Dad.
Oh,
aren't they?
they are. That's a good-looking man.
So what was that building?
That was the
corner of the.
tax shed, wasn't it?
There's his car.
Oh
and
yeah, the old
what's that?
58 Chevy.
Was that the car that's in our yard?
Yep.
Yeah. What is that building?
Was that part of the house?
I think that was a
Is that-
house. Yeah.
Was the house that far forward? This is pretty close to the road.
Yeah, it was. Well,
No, it's not right where our house is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I think it's the corner of the house. Because we parked the car right in front, just
Front,
like
like
you
there.
guys do now.
Yeah.
It's farther.
Oh,
from
yeah.
the, it's farther
Yeah.
from the highway than it looks.
Okay, it looks like it's really close to the road right
Yeah.
there.
What I mean.
I guess it was still pavement then.
Well,
wasn't
that
it?
might have been. That's the corner of Mom and Dad's bedroom. Because that tree, that lilac tree that's out front, that was right off. That was right there by the dining room window.
I'm wondering if. I'm thinking it might be Getsky's taking this.
I
That
think
would
so
make-
too.
that would make sense.
Because Mom and Dad never had a camera.
Right.
And they were over at our house a lot. And so they might have just. And that, whatever else is on there, is just something that they.
And I think that older person was Emil Getsky. That would
I
make
bet it
sense
was. That, yeah.
if
Yeah.
Gary is the one or Oki or somebody was taking this film.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of cool though to see Dad.
Yeah.
And Mark.
Has he seen him yet? Oh.
Well, Marcus, we've seen him years ago when
Yeah.
we first put him on VHS, but it's been several years since he.
I
Rob
think
was
it's
making a
Getsky's dogs. I think that's
Okay.
all. That's not.
And so where did they live? They lived.
We're Kelton's house.
They lived in Kelton's house.
They
for a
lived
while,
in the
didn't they?
schoolhouse.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
For what do you think?
They
a
moved
year
this-
or two or something.
They moved
or-
the schoolhouse
couple
that
years.
early. I thought it would have been like in the 70s or 80s. They moved that house, but it was more like the 50s, huh?
That
No,
has
it
to
was
be a
in
schoolhouse?
early. It was latter 60s, middle 60s. They probably
Okay.
moved that house.
So this was late 60s, early 70s before
Because-
they put the highway in here.
Because I think that we
'Cause-
were 7th and 8th grade. Because I'll always remember because our room was on upstairs. We moved from the 5th grade. We got to go 6th grade upstairs, and I think then we were in the 7th and 8th grade. And I remember Singleton, Gary and Andy got in trouble, and he paddled them all the way up those stairs. And we were at 7th and 8th grade when, and I don't, we might have been 7th graders, and I think that's when they left. Rick left. They
Who was
left
that?
us.
Singleton?
The superintendent.
At what stairs though?
Oh, in the old school.
Oh, you're talking about
Yeah.
the Hinsdale school. Okay.
Yeah.
Had me a little confused when Brady was talking about Kelton's house. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the old
Yeah.
school.
And maybe even that place where the people are in the house and it's dark. Maybe that's the Getsky family too.
Yeah.
So that would have been in the old Swanson schoolhouse there. Then
Maybe, or
Kelton's
maybe-
or if they were somewhere
Maybe
else.
they weren't here. Maybe they were just here visiting. Do you think?
Oh no, they lived here for a couple.
But I mean,
years.
when this was
oh
taken, were they?
no, they were
then,
here.
or-
That's when we got to
Okay.
know them. Is when they moved
Oh,
here.
okay. I just thought they might have come back a few years later
No.
for a visit or something.
Oh, they used to
They
come back
would go-
every year for a visit.
visit.
Right, which is why I'm thinking maybe he got a new video camera after they
Oh,
moved and
yeah,
came
that's
back
true.
when he
Could
was
have,
visiting.
yeah.
And
Because it does look like, I mean, the driving wasn't necessarily just Highway 2. It looked like it was more,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was something in the mountains there. I don't know
yeah,
what that
it looked
was.
more like,
Because
Well,
they
they
moved to
from
Washington
here.
to Renton, Washington.
But-
But from here to Renton.
no, from here to Hungry Horse.
Oh, that's
no,
right.
Martin City. They
That's
moved
right.
to Martin
because
City.
we went. Yes.
We stopped
When
in-
I was in 8th grader.
we
went on
our
that
only
trip.
family vacation.
Yeah, and we went to Spokane and we spent the night with them in Hungry Horse.
Martin City,
Oh, Martin City. That's
which is right next. He was
that-
working on the Hungry Horse Dam.
yeah, and that. Oh, I remember that now.
So we
Yeah.
saw him a lot, and they used to come back every year. He'd bring back all those apples, and he
Yeah.
just loved it out here. I don't think he
Yeah.
wanted to
Well,
leave.
then he came back and hunt and stuff, and that's when the old pickup just stayed here. And that's when Amo, that yellow house of Bennett's, Amo had that house, his dad, and then he just parked that pickup in that garage and just left it here. So when he come back, he had a
a vehicle to drive. Yeah.
yeah, and and then Gary died. Oh no, it's been a while that Gary died.
Well, about the time we ended up with the pickup.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And I don't know about Okie anymore.
I don't know either. Haven't heard a word.
I just still can't believe that Getsky isn't the model name of that pickup. That's probably what I thought it was.
Well, there's a Getsky house too. So did you? Or
I've
did
never
you
heard
never
of that
call,
Getsky.
My
you never
problem was
called
I
it
could never
the
tell if it
Getsky
was
house?
Getsky or Yetsky.
I always thought it was
started
a
to get
Chevy Getsky. I thought that, or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck it is.
That's
That's not a
exactly
thing.
what Luke was. He wanted to draw a picture of that pickup, and he was trying to find, a picture online that he could go by. And he's like, "How do you spell that?" And I'm like, "Why are you trying to spell that?" Well, because that's the model of the pickup. Nope, that's the name of the guy that had it.
It makes a lot of sense now.
And Hannibus they were an older couple. They never had any kids, and they became when we moved here. They became our surrogate grandparents.
Like your Don and Judy.
yeah, yeah. And I remember when Dad,
But not near as nice.
when Dad got
Really?
Dirt
when
road.
Dad got his.
And I'm pretty sure that's boardwalk there still, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
Oh, wow.
that was boardwalk. But when Dad lost his eye, when he got that,
So old
Still
post
his
office.
Oh no, that
no,
building's not there anymore.
no, that's
that is the
yeah.
old
That
That
must
is
have been
the-
when they made the highway. They must have gotten rid of that.
No, that's still
it's
there.
Still there.
Oh,
That
this
is
one.
not here.
Got-
yeah, the
Was
M&M,
this-
no, the M&M Cafe is not there.
Was that the Kent building? No, I don't know. One of those was, and so then was the northern
Right
like
next to it.
butted up to it. Okay.
Yeah. Grady's own, well,
The M&M Cafe.
But before that,
People might have been living up there still at that point.
Donna Christensen,
Was
when
that-
she came back into the country, she ran it, and her husband was Campbell, Pam's dad,
Yeah.
and they ran it for quite a few years.
Wasn't it called like the Dewdrop Inn?
Dewdrop.
I think we got a picture of that somewhere.
And
like the one in
then the
Torquay?
Grady's
Yep.
got it. But then there's somebody else had it between the two of them, they said. Because I thought it went from, but someone said, no, there was somebody else that had it. But, oh, I tell you, that was quite the place when Grady's had it. All those high school kids, you know, Kathy and Julianne and all them. At noon, they'd go up there and they'd have their cigarettes. And, oh, yeah. It was.
We'd walk by and you'd see all those girls up there smoking their cigarettes. Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the place to go. See,
That
they
doesn't
built the
look much
post
different.
office right after they put that road through there. And then
And it's
the
got a-
Legion Hall.
I wonder if the Claypools still had the store then.
Look at that though. Their buildings
Oh.
up there.
Is that the grocery store?
That is the
Claypool.
Palace
This
Inn.
was.
That's the old
lodge used
Palace
to be
Inn.
a
Well, the palace was still up
grocery
then, huh?
store.
Oh, the lodge.
That was
Yeah.
kind of the sketchy place
I
in
remember
town,
that,
wasn't it?
actually.
Well, I guess it was just another bar. And then there was a gas station at the
Gas
corner that Grandpa Macaulay had with mackerel
Oh, at the
banks.
corner up by where the state
service
sign is.
station?
Yeah.
Is that what they
Yeah.
called it?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's the flagpole
Yep.
that they put a bunch of money as a community to get, and then were not very happy when they said you couldn't have it if you're getting a highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was somebody that took, I don't know who the superintendent was, but they stole his bike and they ran it up the flagpole and put it down through the
Oh,
bar.
right, the
You-
spokes of the
yeah.
tire or
Oh
whatever.
no,
use the
you know
rope
where
and
the bar
Oh,
is.
the
Shove
bar.
it up
bike.
over the spokes.
Yeah, and there.
And then how
And
do you
there
get it
it's
out?
at.
You cut the tire.
That was the superintendent's bike. I don't know who did it.
And I believe that's still the same pole that's at the Legion. They just had to cut it off and it's shorter.
Wait, so
I
they put
think-
the pole in the middle of the road?
Mhm.
Yeah, that pole
Yep.
was always
Right
out
in the middle of that
the road.
intersection.
I feel like people would run into it.
Those
We
seem
just
like
went
the
around
best
it.
place to.
It's like a roundabout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just went around it.
It was a big landmark for town.
See, I actually remember when the bank looked like that, so that's not that.
But that is pretty cool getting to see that there are buildings up there.
Yeah.
Used to be a
But
lot
that's
more
as far as
buildings.
it's. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just so neat. See, Dad.
Well, where's he coming out of?
It's not the tax shed because it. only had
Nope,
that
it's
little
not.
door. Played a little further.
It must
Maybe
be like
Mike
a
would
garage
know.
or something.
I don't know.
Is it the hills in the background?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe Mike knows.
Did you say there was a garage or something off the oil shed?
Well,
Well,
there's the house, and then there was the shop and the bunkhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was an oil shed over here. Old.
Well, the old.
Not where the oil shed is now.
No,
No.
the
And
oil
that-
shed used to be
it's-
hooked to the big shop,
Yeah,
and
but
then
there
he
was
took
a
it off
building
and
here
moved
too.
it over there.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what happened? Well, then there was the big shed there,
Mm-hmm.
hooked to this oil shed.
Gotcha. 'Cause
And
it looks
then
like
at
there's
the end
a
of-
car door garage there.
Yeah, and then Dad tore it down and built the pole barn. The
But
pole-
moved that oil shed over to where
Yeah.
it is
It
now,
is now,
right?
okay.
Yeah, and, they buy
And we
the
played
gas
anyhow
tank.
over.
Yeah.
A
That
lot
makes some more
over
sense
that.
though, because I kind of recognize that oil shed building. It was in there earlier. I'm pretty sure I can recognize the windows and stuff, but like it's not in the right spot with the way
Right.
everything's
Yeah.
turning.
And then there
But
was
the
a road
windows
that
on
went
that doesn't-
around.
Yeah, we had.
And we rode our bikes around and around. And
Wait, so what is the Annie Over game?
you don't know what Annie?
Annie
Yeah, I just played it
over
once.
is?
You get a ball and you play it on a building or like a haystack or something, and one person's it, and you're on one side and they're on the other side, and then
You call
You sit-
Annie
Yeah,
eye
over.
and you
over.
throw it
Throw
over.
the ball.
Then whoever gets it tries to tag that person.
If
that
you
threw
catch it.
If you you got to catch
But
Yeah.
we had teams.
Yeah, but then you don't know which way they're gonna go.
Yeah, and they run around. They try to hit, like tag you with the ball or touch
Yeah.
you or hit you
Oh,
with
so
the
you have
ball
to make it like all the way around the
to
stack.
the other side.
Yeah, because
Oh.
that building was so neat to do that with because there was
Had
a
a
road
road
that
all the
went
way
all the way
around.
around it.
And there was junk, of course, piled around, and you'd try to sneak, and
I think,
they wouldn't
I think
see
Dad
you.
tried to play with us once around the haystack.
But that's
I
what
don't
we
think I
did
ever played that game.
when Schofields and
Everybody.
Scholes is coming and Ketchums.
It's better on a roof though, because
Yeah.
when the ball goes over the top, then it kind of rolls and bounces, you know. But we played that for
You
hours.
never knew where it was coming over.
But I still don't. What is that in the
It
background?
looks like people standing on something, doesn't
Oh, yeah.
it? And just it
Yeah.
looks like
Well,
he's got
there.
a 6-pack of beer in his hand.
I think it's just junk.
Is it? Okay.
I just don't recognize where.
Oh,
that-
never mind. There's a flag. Therefore, the way it was stopped, it was like,
Well, there must be a vehicle here with lumber in it that
Yeah.
he pushes on.
Oh.
I don't
That
think
looks-
that's what it is, but it doesn't it look like people standing
Unless
on
they were
something back there?
Yeah, stand on top of the old that building next. I don't know if it was a granary or whatever next to the chicken coop. I don't know. That's weird.
But I mean, that's
If he's coming
that's
out
not
of
a
the
car door garage. That's a swinging door, isn't
Mm-hmm.
it?
Yeah.
So, but I don't remember those windows. But then again, I mean, this was a big building. That
Was
doesn't
that
look
the
like
garage?
the
I mean,
garage,
it's got a door big enough to
Oh,
drive
that
in.
could be.
I think that's the garage.
not the shop, but the
The
garage.
garage. And then, but that, yeah. And they
That
were doing
isn't. That
something.
isn't people, but
It looks like it
it's-
when you
yeah,
stop it.
when you.
Because that must be the road coming into the house right there with the pole.
No, that would be the
No,
highway
Highway
going
2.
across.
Yeah. That was in
'Cause
Highway
this
2.
space-
Before it moved. Right?
The old highway. That's
yeah.
the old highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the
the
gravel
garage-
road now.
Yeah,
Old
the
highway
shop,
too.
your shop now it sits the same as the old garage, the old one
Okay.
did. And then the bunkhouse was off the south side of it. It was more toward the house.
Gotcha. It's just weird that you can't see any buildings in the background of this.
Well, off to that side,
Side
there
there
wouldn't
wasn't
be.
any. No, there wasn't any.
But
buildings.
there was always junk combines and stuff out there, you know. So, but that isn't what that looks like. I don't know.
No, I'm confused. Okay, so this is where you're thinking this might be where the shop was?
Yeah, exactly where the old
Old-
garage where the
Shop
shop
was-
is right now.
Dad's shop. Yeah, old shop. Yeah.
Which
But
I
it's
guess
on the wrong side.
Of what?
Well, because if you're facing the hills,
The doors were facing north.
you're on the
Oh.
west side of the building, is my assumption looking at it.
Well, where
Aren't you on the west side looking kind of east and then turning south? Like looking towards town
Yeah.
and then looking south?
no.
No?
Well,
No,
it's just like the shop is now.
It's just like
With
the
the
With
hills
the door
here?
on the east side?
No,
the
the doors were on the north
north
side.
Just
I think
like
this
it
is just
now.
an angle.
It's a weird angle.
So I mean, if you're sitting, if you're in where your your concrete pad is, you can see the door and the hills out to the side, can't you?
but the building.
No.
is
Well,
on
your
the other
barn's in the way
side.
now.
But there was no building there. There was nothing there,
There was
on the other
nothing
side.
there. It's just
The oil shed wasn't
Okay,
Except
so what
John's
I'm
tissue.
saying is, if this is like, say this is standing outside my house, this building is to the east. If you're looking at the foothills, the
the
building's
angle of the
over here.
foothills doesn't make sense to us. The only way that makes sense to me is if you're like on the western side of one of our buildings, the way they're lined up.
because the house is just up behind the garage
Just
there,
right up.
yeah.
behind there.
Oh, so this is west of the house?
It's north of the house, just like the shop is now.
But which side of the shop does it look like you're on? Because to me, the only way that angle,
He's
north-
on the north side of the house.
Northwest corner, right,
Yeah.
Dana?
that building must not be square then with the hills. Because that doesn't look right to me
Well,
for some reason.
I mean, that's our best guess. It might not even be that garage then. I don't know. And I
'Cause-
certainly don't recognize whatever that is over there.
Yeah, because all this stuff back here to me looks like you're on the west side of a building peeking around it. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
Just-
Yeah, Mike. Mike might remember more, but
Yeah.
because I don't think we had any lift, doors. On
was
the
there
garage.
an old gas shed out there in that field at one time, Dana? Does that look like it could be a gas shed?
He was putting a saw. It was
I don't think
putting
so.
a saw
then.
back
There was
in.
an outhouse up back in there.
Yeah.
that actually says something. Farmers.
Oh yeah.
Like
Farmers
farm-
Union. Yes, he said it was a saw handle.
Dad was a director.
But I mean, it may not even be
Farmers
that
Union
garage. then.
and
Farmers Union something.
But it seems like there was windows
Farmers
in
Union
that,
Co.
in that build in that
Farmers Union
garage,
Oil
that's the
and-
same windows that were in the
something that starts with an S.
bunkhouse.
Yeah. It does. I
ABC.
remember now the windows in
That's
that
one-
house.
that's
too.
a word that
I don't
would make
remember any windows in the big shop,
Yeah.
but just in this little garage thing with the bunkhouse.
I remember when I got the co-op scholarship, Dad had me go tell Grandpa about it, and he thought that was pretty cool. A long time ago.
Well, we may be
Co-op
wrong.
scholarship.
Yeah, but Mike might
When
add
they
more to it.
dissolved the co-op, they turned all the equity into a scholarship for the community.
Oh, so you were like the last one to get it.
Oh, was I?
No, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I mean,
You said when they liquidated everything, but they just created a scholarship and it makes its own
Yeah,
money.
the
And
co-op was dissolved before I was
Yeah,
born.
it
I'm
was-
pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it's been.
But
gone
that would
for
have
a
been the
long
old Conoco
yeah.
time. Oh,
building
Cenex.
or whatever.
Cenex.
Well, it would have been
Same.
Cinex
There was a
when they had
Conoco at
it.
one point too, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was always
always
Cenex because Farmers Union. It was Farmers Union. That's what Dad was
Yeah.
involved with. That he was
Right, but
director.
after that, it was when
Yeah.
Lester had it or
Yeah,
when Rutherford
yeah,
had it or
yeah,
whatever. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
was
But
a
it's that
Cenex.
vacant lot right there next to.
Hubbard's, just south of Hubbard's, where Hubbard's live.
I was gonna say next to Potluck or that lot that
Yeah,
Stowe owns.
next to it, but behind,
I don't
just
know.
behind Sheena.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah.
I mean, for me, Melina's lived there for years, so.
Yeah.
And Schuler's had the Farmers Union and the Farmers Union. Bruce Schuler. And Blanche was
So
the
was that also?
secretary and or the.
Was
Oh,
that,
did you see her? Did you see
Yes,
her?
I
Hello,
saw
that
it.
was
She
very
looks
cool.
so good.
She does.
There's actually a lot of people watch that video. I think
Yeah,
they're
that
like
was very cool.
Yeah,
700-800 people now.
is that right? She looks so good. That was a smart idea.
Like what video?
Her daughter, right?
Holly.
Not
I don't know who Holly is.
Holly's the
I don't know what the relationship is.
Peggy Mayfield's daughter,
Okay.
Oh.
Steve's sister.
Oh.
Anyway, she took a little video of Blanche saying hello to Hinsdale, and
Oh.
Yeah,
it was very cute.
And she looks so good.
yeah.
That's
Holly's
so
been
good.
very interested in the history and stuff whenever she's up here.
Yeah,
she's-
I know.
She's
I
asked
know
me
the
stuff
name
and
because you
things.
talk about her a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't know who she is.
She was
She's Steve's sister.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
the when we went into Potluck. She was the one in the doorway taking pictures of the signs and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
I
was
didn't
her.
know who
And then
those
her
people were.
son
See?
Robert or whatever,
Brady knows
Wha-
people. I don't.
not very well.
And you know their names.
He won that little contest I did a few years ago on
Right.
Facebook of hey, share, like, comment, and I put a thing together of for drinking some ice cream and some history stuff, and so that was pretty cool that they got it. 'Cause
So this would be like standing on the back side of the shop between the shop and the pole barn.
that's what
Is that
they're
the angle?
that's what
Uh-huh.
they're thinking.
It still just seems like the building's
Yeah, the
on
angle.
the building's on the wrong side of the picture.
It's hard for us to imagine buildings
get
that
it.
we've never seen.
Well, they built the shop. You're right. They tore down the old one and built the shop right there. And I don't know if they even used if they used the same foundation or if they maybe poured down.
I
or
don't
not.
Because
think
it's-
so.
I
It looks
think
So
Yeah.
maybe it would be like standing on the shop, but over towards the side of the oil shed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just imagine this being that old junk pile that we had. That's basically
Which old junk pile that we have?
the one that's gone. That's
There's
now just
several
some
of them-
scrap.
Several of them that are
Where
gone.
all
No,
the tires
that's
and stuff used to be.
behind the shop.
That you
Mhm.
inherited from Dad. It wasn't your
Mo-
junk. It was
Mo-
there
mo-
when you
most,
got there.
most of it's gone.
Yeah, which
And
is
had-
good.
I
And-
played
and
in
has
that
been
for a long
reestablished.
time. and
I was always so confused when I was little because I thought that was where their house burned down, was where all that junk was.
No,
but
because the
Behind the
part
shop?
of the cement pad out.
no, the junkyard where all the tires.
Oh,
are.
the junkyard.
Yeah, I always
Oh.
thought that's where the house
Oh.
was.
No, part of the cement pad that Mom parks on was
Different steps.
was the front steps. But it always throws me off, and this doesn't help because it was a lot farther
Yeah. The house
towards
is.
the garden than
Yeah,
our
we
house.
had to move the house farther west because we couldn't dig the
Yeah.
basement because the hole that was already there from when their house sat there was too deep. So we would
You know
have
that
to make our, so we
weird,
had to move the house
old
over.
part of the concrete, basically. You know, like there's that weird square piece of concrete that like moves. That was the old front step
step.
foundation. And
The-
then Mom didn't
the
get a
lilac-
garage, and the deal was if I don't get a garage, at least want a nice concrete pad to park on.
Yeah, I didn't quite. Actually, what I wanted, I didn't want a garage. I wanted to be able to drive around the house.
Why?
Because growing
It's
up,
fun.
that's the way my house
Uh-oh.
was.
Mhm.
We could drive all the
Yeah.
way around the house, and that's what I wanted. But your dad decided that because the septic tank and the drain field was out there, we
Yeah.
shouldn't be driving over the top of it. So it's like, well, then you're going to have to build me a cement pad to park on instead. So I got that, but we should have just tore all the old stuff out and put a new one because now it's all cracked and it didn't
Gives
work
it
very well,
character.
but it's better than nothing. No, that lilac bush, the one that I need to chop down so we can start over with it, the one in the front yard, that was right outside the living room window.
See, things I remember about the house. Remember
There
the
was a
pool
honey
table, the loft, the fireplace, which was on bricks, and I remember the bricks
Just a-
inside of
a
it.
Fire.
Or
Wood-burning stove.
the stove,
Yeah.
which I still played
Wait,
with.
which
like,
house is this?
Grandma
my
Grandpa's
grandpa's.
that burned down.
When did it burn down?
When
Luke
I was like
a baby.
5.
I thought it was like way before that.
No, it was the
No,
Christmas of
I
'96, or right after '96.
kind of
Yeah.
remember sitting at our house, which was Kelton's, and Grandma Johnson coming in going, "Grandma, what are you doing here? Why are you at your house?" And it was burning down.
Oh.
And I remember they had the Lady and the Tramp movie. That's about it. And the rotary phone.
So Grandma and Kelton used to live in
Grandpa's
at
house.
Grandpa's
Grandpa's
house,
house,
right? Yeah.
And
And
we
we just
lived.
did a house swap.
Yes.
It was.
I don't recommend that.
There was a 4th house that Grandma and Grandpa Johnson lived in because
Yeah.
Theirs burned down.
They lived in the house
Where
that Kurt
Kurt
Rosendahl's
Rosendahl's,
lived
I
in.
don't know who Kurt Rosendahl is.
Not next to the townhouse, but the next house.
Drake's house. That he
Drake's
lived
house, yeah. Would that be how you remember?
Well, Drake has lived all over. Like, well,
Yeah.
the place I most remember Drake living
Is where
recently is where
Tom
they're.
is working
yeah.
on it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drake didn't live there very long. He lived there a little while.
Maybe 6
Yeah, I don't know
months.
what would have been there. Jackie lived there for a while.
Who's Jack?
Dalton, Coss's mom.
But it just
She had
amazes
St.
me
Bernards.
that, you know, she doesn't know.
Doesn't remember the house.
Remember, you know,
Yeah,
that.
there's no reason she
No,
should.
should.
She remembers Grandma Q.
Yeah.
And she really shouldn't.
But it just.
She was like, I don't know how old she was.
I was convinced I
6
knew
or
her.
7 before she would say something. Well, I remember Grandma Polly's like, honey, you weren't born yet when
So I
Grandma
think she
Polly
was
died.
upset.
I wasn't. She was just sure
Yeah,
that she knew Grandma Polly.
heard so many stories.
Yeah.
But
That just forget that. You know.
Yep.
And then I remember getting stuck in the basement while they were pouring cement.
Of the new house?
Mhm.
Oh,
Your house
really?
house? Oh.
In what basement?
Our basement.
Because there was
Because they were pouring the
There was just a
cement,
ladder.
and Dad and I were over there looking at it. And we were down in the basement, and I was watching some girl smooth concrete, and I was just so
probably
enthralled.
Laura.
And then I looked around, and all of a sudden they had like boxed me into a corner, and everyone else was gone, and I just started crying. But I think Dad like reached down from up above and lifted me out.
Where's Bree?
And
But I just was so busy watching someone smooth concrete. I'm like, this is so interesting. And all of a sudden I'm stuck in the basement. I'm like,
you know who that was? That was Laura Jones, not Laura Jones. Laura Reinhardt.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, really?
That's who I assumed it was, because Reinhardt's.
yeah, they
it.
did the cement work, yeah.
Wait, why is this so long if this is all that we have?
Is there
Or-
some-
Because
where did
they
we get
filled
that
the rest
saddle?
of the tape with just
Did-
music or whatever.
Um,
And I just.
Did that
Didn't
have
come
something
back
to do
soon
with
enough.
jet skis?
No.
So there's a bunch
I
of
don't-
really bad music, and
I
I'm
don't-
saying you
can't
could have put
remember.
more stuff on
What
here.
was that?
There,
I was just trying
there
to
was
remember
one,
where we got Mark got that little saddle.
but he was. I wonder
Is
if
that
we
the
got
same
it from
saddle that-
offices.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I can't. There's something.
See,
Oh, look where he's putting his feet above the stirrups.
see, this is the oil shed that's
Yeah.
on the side
Side
of
of
the old shop.
Shop.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that-
the oil
that's the
shed that
oil
we still
shed.
have?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this is that story and a half
Chicken coop.
chicken coop, which is. What was the second story for?
Well, no, it was divided.
yeah, but what's with the taller
We
part?
never used that for anything. Hardly.
It was
really?
kind of a catch-all.
I remember once there was a pig. There was a. I don't know why there was a pig in there, but she was having her babies, and we were all out there watching her, and she was in that building. Dad must have put her in there for that purpose.
The farrowing
But
shed.
that's the only thing I ever remember in there. Was
Okay, so
that.
that's the cottonwood tree. Okay.
That's one of them. Then they show.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's the
That's
middle one.
right there in the middle of a lawn.
And Mom, when she planted though, they planted one right in the middle of the yard.
Yeah.
And the bulls kept getting out and knocking it over. So she just gave up on it, and she says, "I'm so thankful that I gave up on it because
Yeah,
can you
That
imagine
would have
having
been a
a
terrible place for a huge cottonwood tree.
I still can't understand how the heck they ended up with all males, because I don't think that they were able to sex
There's
them back
another
then? Were
cotton
they?
tree.
Well, they
That's
just
hilarious.
Dad just went down to the riverbank or
That's
someplace.
right.
There's like
Yeah.
so many
Left
trees
out,
there.
huh?
That's behind the garden.
And those must all
Yeah.
be elms back there,
Like, yeah.
because that's what's there
And
now.
there was an
What's
orchard
left?
back there. All those trees.
I think
Is that
that's.
where like all the choke cherries are now, kind
No,
of?
I think that's all those
Or-
American plums.
Those
Those
plums.
plum trees were
There's
so...
not much left of them.
No. Oh, it smells so good. That must be you, huh?
Mhm.
Well, in our very first, remember our first, was it a 60 that we got? A Honda
55.
55. Emil. No, did he give us that one or did he give us our first Trail 90? It
I
seems
can't
like
remember.
Emil gave us.
Yeah. I think that is Gary and Rick.
Or Rick and Scott. I don't know. Well, Scott would
Well,
be real
maybe,
little.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe more. Oh.
And the Getskys, though, they had corgis.
That's not.
That's
a
right.
corgi.
That's not a corgi. They had corgis.
That looks like a blue
In fact,
healer.
didn't she breed
That looks
him?
like a bigger dog
'Cause
than
I
a
have
blue
a-
healer. Those
I
are
still
bigger
Or not
dogs.
blue healer, sorry,
home,
border collie.
card, a business
No.
It's
card.
like a lab.
Okay,
Yeah,
Getskys,
that's a big dog.
corgis.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I still have
Oh.
their business card.
Oh. I don't remember that.
And that must just be someone randomly
Yeah,
that
yeah,
ran
they
into
must
them
have
on
just
the
been
road.
traveling and yeah.
I bet that, yeah, this is, that Okie
them.
or Gary took these and,
But Scott
because
was
Mom and Dad didn't have a camera.
Scott Getsky. Was he more like Terry's age?
Yeah, I think
So I don't know. I don't think
Vanessa was your age, wasn't she?
She was Mike's.
Mike's age,
Just a
okay.
year older than I was. Yeah.
She had the prettiest red hair. Her mother had beautiful red hair. Yeah.
But yeah, if you 5 siblings are ever all here together, I'd love for you guys just to do this with
this, yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
Because
If I,
Michaela's learning
if I
so
had
much.
remembered to tell you,
I
so
made-
that's why
well,
Brady's
last
got
time
me
when I
a
went to
video camera
the
for my birthday.
track
So
meet
then when
with
he
Dad, I
forgets
made
to,
him
at
talk
least I'll
about
have
grandma
one,
and
a good
stuff
one
a
here
lot.
we can use.
Look at them old gas pumps.
I want one of those.
I don't
vans.
recognize him at all. Do you?
That's not the same bus as earlier, is it?
I
It
don't-
looked
Looked like
different.
it.
I was thinking it was, but I didn't look that close. I was just assuming it was.
I think Mike could enjoy seeing this. I think we probably have seen this before, but
Mhm.
it's been so long.
Mhm.
Yeah, you must
I
be right,
bet.
Mom. That must be Fort
Yeah.
Kip. Or not Fort
Not
Kip, the Kip Recreation Area.
The river, Missouri River.
And I don't know why the fascination with
Yeah.
the Glasgow distributors either.
Maybe he wasn't in Glasgow.
Where did Gary
I don't know.
work when he was
It
here?
must be
I don't
Glasgow.
know. I was just wondering if he worked in Glasgow.
Maybe he drove for them.
Yeah.
I don't remember
know.
where he worked because I don't think he was like ranching. Well, I don't
They
know.
must have, those are brand new
But
corrals.
I'm
They
pretty
must
sure.
have
I
just
bet
been
that's
building.
Emil.
I
Mhm.
bet it is too.
And who's over on the other side though?
I bet it's Gary.
Can we go back and pause that? I don't know.
Like inside there?
No, the guy in the blue shirt.
The one like inside it?
Uh-huh.
I don't think we get a good enough.
I bet that's Gary.
Could be.
Was
I
Gary-
think
is
that
Gary
looked
the
like
oldest?
Gary from the.
Gary was
Gary
the
the
dad.
oldest?
Yeah.
Oh, Gary's the dad. Oh, this is Gary and Okie and their kids. So
And
Rick and them are Gary's kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
But
they
that
building
that was Grandpa with the back to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like they're
Building,
building
the
it
chute.
because
Building-
now it's
Yeah.
so that's probably almost the same day, almost there. So I can't tell. Is this a different time of Dad riding Trixie, or is they just out of
Or is
order?
it the,
Like, it's
probably
just out of order.
Because this looks like a brighter day.
Mm.
It might just be the angle is brighter.
He
I
was
love
aware
it.
of that camera though, wasn't he?
I love it. Oh shoot! He kind of reminds me of Brock.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's around 68 or 67
Mm-hmm.
when this was some of it, you know, because
Well,
of the
it's
school.
after school was made, but before the highway went in. So that's probably
Well, the highway went in
How do you know?
in
it's before the highway went in?
because there's
65.
no highway.
Oh, the highway in the middle of town.
The
Was it
North
the
Highway.
The highway didn't go in at 65.
Oh no, the highway. Yeah, going down Main Street and
The
stuff
North
and out.
Highway.
Yeah, the North Highway. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
So it would have been the same time as the.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that
I
would've
didn't
been-
see the
Arnold
Legion
Wasn't
Bridge.
that
Tower
like
over there,
71, 73 or something when they put the highway in?
I can't remember. I have it written somewhere.
though. Jim would know.
But it would have been the same time that was it. Maurice. What was Johnny's dad? Arnold.
Morris Arnold.
Morris Arnold.
Because the North Bridge is in his honor or whatever, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the same time as the highway going in. My
Jim would know.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Roberta talk about her dad
Yeah.
growing up at the Payne place.
Uh-huh.
Just walking around out there is really cool.
Where Bouchers live now, like Cassie and Sarah. What paint
No,
place?
the pain place
The
at the
Rock
Rock House
House.
where we had the picnic.
Oh right,
With
yeah.
those still working water pump,
Mm-hmm.
which baffles me.
Yeah, but the Payne place is where they live too. That's
Because it's Payne Road.
Yeah,
her folks lived there. For
Dad remembers when
I
they
still haven't
used
seen the
to
finished edition.
still brand at the Payne place out south and
I
have
remember that
lunch
too.
and lunch there like we do at the Schultz place.
Mrs. Payne used to love to go out to the Rock House. She looked forward to that every year.
That's really sad. That's fine. That is a nice house, and no one sees it because you can drive around there all day, and unless you go in the Bombat Coulee, you don't know what's there.
I don't know how to get there. I only remember being there a couple times because I remember going there for like Mother's Day or something and having a picnic.
I could maybe find my way there from Jared's, and I could maybe find my way there from Kelton's. Maybe from the Saddle Trail. I think if you just stay kind of on that dividing fence line between the Smith place and Chris's, you get pretty close instead of going down the way we do. I think if you just kind of stay to the
I
left.
still have to see if we can mark it on my map. I was up till almost 11 o'clock last night. I got on that cadastral site that you had, and so I printed out Stinky Creek and Kelton's and the home place and Kelton's, Melby's home place, or not home place, but yeah.
Is that
Kelton's
working pretty
M&G,
good?
And I've got all the pasture, the land outlined, and then I made your dad come over and show me like gates and fence lines. And
I recognize the Stinky Creek.
Yes,
when
she
I
was
saw-
very
I just
proud.
saw Turkey Track and like,
Yeah.
oh, it must be
is
Stinky
it
Creek.
Stinky Creek?
Sneaky trick.
So who built that Rock House? Was it Payne's or was it already there?
I'm assuming that it was.
Did they ever? They lived there, didn't they? For
I
a
think
while?
she grew
Yes,
up.
because I've heard
there.
stories
no,
of
no, they're
No.
from Texas. They're
Oh.
both from Texas. They came up on
No, Roberta.
Roberta.
That's my assumption.
I heard stories of Milo peeing out the top window or something about that Roberta's younger brother,
Oh.
who was killed in a car accident, right? At some point in time.
Right there on that
That's where
corner
Mila came from.
Yeah,
Oh.
that corner right
between your Melby's and your place.
Yeah.
Right on that corner. That's where he
Oh,
was
on the
killed.
old highway.
Mm-hmm. And I think who was with him?
Danny.
Danny. Yeah, Danny was with him.
High school or how old?
I think after
Recently
they graduated or something. Yeah. I don't think it was during high school. I think they had already graduated, but they were young. I mean, they were.
Yep.
And I think they were partying and.
Talk about close to home, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Payne's dad and I have a lot of memories of Andy
Yeah.
and
And Mrs. Payne.
and Mike would too. And
So was it Andy and Stubbs that were good friends?
Stubbs.
Rudder.
Well, that could be. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Because Peggy borrowed a picture from Roberta, and I thought it was Harry and Andy for some reason, but that doesn't line up, does it?
And it was
'Cause-
Stubbs Peggy's brother?
Dad.
Dad.
And then Harry would be his dad.
Okay. So even
So I
Peggy's dad would have been quite a bit older than Andy, right? Or was Andy quite a bit older than Dwayne?
Oh yes. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
and Dwayne.
You see, Roberta's about the same age as Mom and Dad.
Oh,
Right.
They're
sorry.
she's just a little younger than Mom and Dad. So yeah.
And she
So-
was
so
one of the younger of
Andy
those daughters.
and
Yeah.
Stubbs would line up at
She
about
was
the
a
same
twin.
age group and would have been.
Who was
Well, there's twins in that
'cause I think they
family
were.
too, but I
Legion-
think that
I think it was a Legion
that,
picture or something. So that must have been what it
Mrs.
was.
Payne?
I
Who are
think
you talking
Roberta's
about?
the youngest one.
Mm-hmm. There's
Of the
Mary
family.
Ann, June, and
So Roberta's-
Jean and Roberta.
Yeah, Jean and the other one were twins.
So Roberta has twin sisters.
Really?
Sisters who are twins.
June and Jean.
and one married a Perry
Isn't that
in
Maven
Glasgow
Camp's
and
names too? I
Malta.
think it's June and Jean Maven Camp too.
Was
Funny
that?
names?
But she
twin-
married one of them married a Perry in Malta.
Jean?
Yeah.
Oh, Jean. That was my grandfather's ex-girlfriend, Jean Perry.
Oh, it's
Grandpa Magnus dated her for a while when he was living in Malta. Okay, I guess that's right. I knew the Perrys had a connection somewhere. I just
When
can't
they were
remember.
like, when she was a after like, wait.
After my grandma died.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming if she was a Perry,
I
as you
remember her because
remember her,
she used to give us Christmas presents when we were like teenagers.
Well, she obviously was a pain.
Well, it was because of my grandpa.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and then what's so weird is we always called Andy. It was always Mrs. Payne. Never Nellie. It was always Mrs. Payne.
Whose middle
Oh, I
name is
know,
Sarah?
looking at all the old
Sarah
books.
Nelly.
With a
That's how
belly
they
full of
all
jelly. She used to
were.
get really mad at me when I called her
So
that.
why didn't we call him Andy Mr. Payne?
From all the notes and stuff that I've read, that seems to be kind of thing you called the guy by his first name, and then it was Mrs.
She's the only one that I ever did that with. But
Hmm.
Mom did it too.
Was she the only one of that generation that you were real close with, maybe?
It seemed a lot of the
No, because
homesteaders
we're like
were
Merce. We
that.
called her Merce. We
Merce?
didn't call her
Hmm.
Mrs. Boucher.
No, and Lydia.
that Everett's
Hannibal
wife?
was
We
always
called her Lydia.
It was just her.
Yeah.
Used to go and clean her house, help her clean her house.
You can't be on a production team.
But she's the one that taught Mom how to freeze corn
Mm.
and holding the.
How to cut it off the cob.
Yeah, that all came from Mrs. Payne.
Yeah.
I just remember the cat litter story. That's my favorite. You heard the cat litter story? She'd bought this new kind of cat food and she could not get the cats to eat it. No matter if she put gravy on it, they would not eat it. Finally, somebody explained to her that it was cat litter, not cat food. That was kind of a new thing, I think. Or it was at least new to her.
She always came over to our house though for corn and for chickens, didn't she?
Mhm.
She would sit and scrape chickens and sit in a stool and cut corn.
She was a hard worker.
She
She had
was.
a big garden. Hard worker. Very hard worker.
Is that where Roberta's gardening comes from?
Used to go over and clean her house for 25 cents an hour,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
That's
on
awful.
hands and knees.
Well,
The,
it was
the house
awful.
that Greg and
Renee.
Renee.
lived in.
Living.
yeah, and that
It
I
was
don't know if
awful.
they've changed it, but that big dining room area
Kitchen.
kitchen that scrubbing that on my hands and knees. Oh man,
Yeah, they just put a big old addition on there.
yeah.
And a basement.
Well, the field west of the house, the cornfield, used to have corn in it, and you'd put silage. Dad said that there was always at least a couple rows of sweet corn on the end.
Oh God, yeah.
So they had a lot of
Tons
corn, like that
of-
long end.
Oh yes.
We ate corn twice a day for however long, for like a month, and
And
each
we
of
get
us would
home.
eat at least 2 or 3 cobs. We'd go out and
And we get home and from school and we
You would think you would be sick to death of corn and not want to eat it.
never
ever
got
again.
that way.
Corn's
never.
good.
Like Kelton and chicken. Most people I know that grew up with that situation would never eat chicken again. He said he could eat chicken every day of his life.
Yeah, we
So how'd you guys stand the mosquitoes out? You going picking in that corn and stuff?
we just had a lot of spray.
Was
but
it
you know,
still
we were
DEET or what was it?
Probably. But you know, during that time, you'd put on your Levi jeans
Mosquito
and your
jackets.
boots and your long sleeve jackets and go. It was we'd do anything for the corn. We would go out there and pick and pick and pick.
So how long did Grandpa do that? Because he used that pit for silage, didn't he?
Until we bought more cows. Until we bought too many cows so that it didn't make sense to do it anymore. So we were still doing it when your dad
Oh,
and I
really?
got married. I remember the silage. I don't miss it.
Did you guys have someone come out and put it up for
No,
you? Or
they did it.
They did. It was a big deal every year when Dad would chop
what
corn.
did you guys? Was it with that old chopper that was out in the junkyard? That would do like 2 rows.
And,
And
then
Kenny-
we'd feed it with the old Jeep that's still out there.
Kenny Ketchum would come and
Not
help.
the, not
and
the
that's
little
about
red
the
Jeep,
only one, I think.
the big thing with the
I was
sides
gonna say,
on
like,
it.
you fit it with a little Jeep,
That's
that
not
makes
a-
no sense.
It is
The
a Jeep.
farm
It's
truck?
a Grand Jeep. No, the one that's sitting in the not in the junkyard, but sitting in the pasture beside my barn. That we stood in the back of it and took some
The-
pictures
the-
and
the
we're taking
Jeep.
pictures. Yeah.
You just said not the Jeep.
Well, I thought you were thinking of the little red Jeep in my corral.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking
No,
of.
the big
Oh, that other truck out
bus
there
looking
with
thing
the wooden
sides.
sides. Okay, I gotcha. I've never looked too closely at that. So.
Yeah.
Dad used to shovel that though he'd back up to the back of the pit, shovel it into
That's
with a
not worth
pitchfork.
it.
Yeah, it's
he would
no
shovel
wonder
it,
that he's worn out.
and then he would stand, and have somebody drive. We'd put it in compound, and he'd stand. And when we weren't there, he would just shovel it off.
Mom
The
would fill
cows loved.
the back the trunk of the old Chevy, 58 Chevy, with corn, and we'd come home from school and we'd
They're all
have to,
shucking corn there.
we'd all be shucking corn, and that's Mark.
Yeah.
Buttons.
Where'd you get these pictures?
I've had them.
That's cool. Yeah,
Oh.
I've never seen that one.
I'm so little.
Yeah,
We should fill the trunk of that car up with corn and see what your dad does.
we
Put
did
the
so
corn in here,
much
get it out.
corn. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
And then the day that we put it up, I mean, we had gunny sacks full.
yeah.
And we just sat there till your
And-
fingers were raw.
And then my mom got done with all her corn, then she would let people come in and get corn.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those dresses?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do.
It's a cute picture.
There's your dad.
I still feel bad that me and Luke or someone didn't try and fix that car up more and take Grandpa for driving it.
Until
Oh.
Trey put a stick through the window. You never heard about that? When he was probably like 8 or 9,
I
for
think
some
he
reason
broke
he took
one
a
of the
post.
lights.
He took like a post and like put it through the window because he wanted to break something. I don't know why. And Dad was
Might
so
be the same
mad.
reason that Mark and his friends broke all the glass
That's
milk
the
bottles.
I still
'Cause they're
can't believe that
kids
Dad
and
was
they
able
don't
to get
think
that
about
car out of the junkyard and actually had it running for a while.
Oh really?
It was at the junkyard across the tracks.
There's a junkyard. Oh, like the one.
The
Oh,
dead
where that old,
pile.
where that old truck
Oh,
was. by the
that
dead pile.
one.
It was in-
sitting up there by the truck.
It was it was just sitting next to the truck, was it?
Yeah, and so your dad thought he was so sneaky, and he got it. And I don't remember where he put it, if he had it in the shop, where he had it at first.
And it goes-
He had it hidden.
I don't know where
And
I
like
got
the
all those
next day, or
pictures, but-
even maybe that day, your dad's like, "So what happened to the old '56
Who are
Chevy?
these?
Where's it at?" He, from the house, could see that it was
I
not
think
Grandpa
that
or-
it's
Yeah. From the house, could see that it was not there anymore.
there. You can talk to him.
Everybody's parked here like a quick getaway.
Yeah, we just been sitting here
It's-
wishing
it's
you were
Dad
here
and-
because we're trying
and-
to remember things.
And Junior.
I've never.
Oh, really?
Dad.
Huh?
Oh, that's a baby picture of Grandpa.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know
He doesn't
where.
look
And
very
Mom
happy.
gave me those pictures. I
Well, we're doing the Brady thing. I was wondering why he's hanging around all the ladies.
You want to watch an old video?
No. Well, yeah. How
Old-
long does it take?
not
Like-
very long.
Yeah.
4 minutes maybe.
Oh, okay.
Old 8mm.
And this is Dad too, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Mark
I got
and
it.
Trixie.
There's some of
I remember
town
that horse.
2 and 9 months. Dad.
There's some pictures in
I've
here.
got some 16 millimeters. Can you?
This was already converted to VHS. I was able to
There
go
are
from
places that do it though.
yeah
I can do it in Kalispell,
from VHS. I can go over and digitize it.
but we're trying to
The
figure out.
pictures that we took and got off of some of that Dad took in the early 50s and stuff. Took them to Billy's to an outfit and had him digitize it and put. Then you could pull frame by frame which one you wanted
Oh,
off.
that's
the thing.
nice.
That's Terry.
But, oh gosh, it looks bigger.
But we're coming up here.
To be
Trying to
fair,
their who
Dad
they are,
was
but
small.
we think they're the
And
Getskys.
it's a pony, isn't it?
I don't know if Jim ever knew the
That's a fat
Getskys.
pony.
Oh.
It's a fat pony.
Trixie?
Mm.
That's Trixie, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh no, I
Talking
mean
about the
Getskys.
Oh, Getsky.
They're up here in a minute.
Look, it looks like there was some flooding down there
Yeah.
going on, wasn't it?
So was there another road that went where the highway is now? 'Cause it looked like there was, unless I'm really turned around, that looked like someone driving that way.
Well, it was the highway.
The damn old horse
But-
pushed him right off that.
Or am I too far now?
That's the highway. Is there another road you see somewhere?
Just a second.
Well, you said the highway went in '64. The new highway.
Isn't that
It
looking
wouldn't-
north?
Yeah, the highway went
No, I
in
think
65
that's
and
south.
it's 64.
But there's no south
5 and
end.
6.
Yeah,
Oh, it might have been looking kind of towards Melby's. Okay, that makes sense.
that's so cute. It just reminds me of something
I
broad.
never had a horse that would get close to anything to where you could get on it, like a fence or anything.
It
Horse
knew better.
They always walked out just a little bit.
Yeah. We had horses that we eventually could get them. If you try long enough and hard enough, they'd stand. I just remember Russell would just climb up it. If it had strings, he could grab them strings and he could shimmy up there.
And there isn't any of them ever led.
I think
Their
that
neck
is so
got
cute.
longer as you harder you pulled on them.
Yeah, too bad we can't see. Oh, yeah, that's Lana.
Oh, the biker babe.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is that the one that sat beside the?
We've had
Pole barn
we had
for-
The
several.
yellow one, and we had a red one. I think the red one was a Honda 90.
Yeah, it was a trail
This
lady.
is who they're wondering.
Yeah, I think that was the Getskis. And it could be Rick and Scott.
I don't know. Scott would be Terry's age ish. I don't know if that's.
No idea where that building is though.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is someone putting socks on their dog.
I don't know who that is.
We don't know.
That's
who
pretty
that is.
dark.
I bet it's the Getskis because they're the only ones that. I mean, Mom and Dad didn't have a camera, so a movie camera. So
Do you
Yeah,
remember Gary Getsky? And where did
Gary?
He, yeah.
Yeah, I've met him a time or two.
Did he work at like Glasgow Distributors or something? Do you know? Recognize any of this?
I say again.
Do you recognize any of this?
I guess I probably would not.
We're guessing it was just them on trip or something. And I think this is them
I
driving
was
to
around Amo
Glasgow.
a lot more than Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a pretty darn good job of wasting the day, haven't we?
oh yeah, and Lana wanted to get down to see Dad.
I should probably do something to get ready for the weekend.
When did they
but I don't know when.
pave the North
Yeah,
Road
this weekend.
and the Main
Which
Street?
road?
Main Street North
This
Road.
weekend, today,
70.
sometime.
70 they paved it because there's some on
Okay. I
here.
was like, why are you getting ready for the weekend? It is the weekend.
Oh, yeah, there's a picture of Main Street.
1970. They poured the bridge out there just before the 4th of July. And Terry Mercer was hired to go spray
I
water
think these
on
are
it
flooding pictures, aren't
2 or
they?
3 times a day to cure the concrete.
So I was just wondering if Gary Getsky worked for Glasgow Distributors.
I didn't know he did.
I didn't know. What did he do? I mean,
Well, he was out of Bremerton, Washington, working in the
but when he lived here.
shipyards.
I know, but they lived here
Here.
for a couple years.
Oh, I don't know what he did when they
Yeah.
were here.
See, there's Emil, I think,
Mm-hmm.
right there.
Yeah, it looked like Amo.
Emil, I don't know who. Yeah,
We don't know who's in the loading chute. We're guessing maybe Gary.
yeah.
I have no idea what he did when he was here. I kicked that old horse in the gut right now. What was the one that kicked your dad that and I was going to kill that horse?
Is it Magoo?
Huh?
Magoo?
Yeah. That son of a bitchin'
Well,
horse.
see, this is when the school was just built.
Yeah, the school, but no highway through town.
See, there's that front of that school is
Yeah.
all open. There's no
And the old
M&M
M&M.
that little
Cafe.
entryway.
Mm-hmm.
But you
You
used to
can
just
actually
go
see
over.
the palace and stuff up there.
And there's the flagpole.
And you catch just a glimpse of the farmhouse right here.
Mm.
Poor Michaela. She thought that the, the Getsky house, the Getsky pickup, that she thought that was the name of the pickup. I mean, the
Chevy
brand,
Getsky.
Like the model. The
Oh.
model of
yeah.
the pickup.
Oh,
At least
Oh.
I wasn't the only one.
Gary
who thought
Getsky
that.
gave it to your dad. Well, yeah, he gave it to your dad, and then
grandpa,
he
yeah.
Yeah.
shot himself or something the next year. Didn't he die?
That's right.
Didn't he commit
did.
suicide?
I think
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about
Oh, that's
that.
right. He did.
Yeah.
He did give it to Grandpa before
Yeah.
Dwayne
Oh.
before he died.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do this for an hour.
Yeah. No, that's what Luke was the first one that he was in school in art class, and he wanted to draw a picture of the Getski pickup. And so he was like, I was trying to find a picture of it online, you know, to go by. And he goes, how do you spell Getski? And I told him, and I said, why do you need to spell Getski? Well, I'm trying to find a picture of the pickup online. I'm like, it's not a model, a model. That's a name. He just always thought it was a Chevy.